what does ECOWAS resolution on Niger coup mean for Nigeria? All right, more stories here. Council, Kanu won't forgive those enforcing sit-at home in his name. NMA pleads with federal government to resolve disagreement with resident doctors. More stories still on the Cable NG. Group calls for arrest of cleric over malicious allegations against defense chief. Adjula to Nigerians, stop making disparaging comments against presidential tribunal judges. And we also have this: we will cherish her forever. Family buries doctor killed in elevator accident. More stories here, looking at the business angle of the paper this morning, talking about the Cable NG. Hapkin to federal government stop Binance operations in Nigeria to strengthen Naira. More stories still on the Cable NG. Will ensure tax payment is beneficial to Nigerians, says Presidential Committee. All right, we'll take one more before going to another paper this morning. Taiwo Yedele's team to deliver tax reforms achievable in 30 days, says Chinumbo.
We take a look at the Nation newspaper. Federal government begins reform, and this one says federal government begins reform to end 20 trillion naira yearly tax losses. CBN hits Niger rap junta with sanctions. Genesis of the Obaseki Shaibu disagreement. Alleged fraud. Alpha requested to work with me, says native doctor. Businessman leaves hometown. Kogi SDP condemns attacks. Seeking Tinubu's intervention. Okay. Organized labor adamant on demands. Federal government begins reform to end 20 trillion naira yearly tax losses. Southeast senators demand 2 more ministerial slots. Federal government probes status of transformers, substations for power projects. APC defends president's choice of ministers. CBN hits Niger rep junta with sanctions. I've taken that one before. Fountain of Life founder Pastor Odukoya dies at 67. We see if we can take some more stories from the Nation newspaper. My current lover, different from others. Nkechi Blessing, that's on the entertainment side. And let's take one from sports and we move on to another paper. England's James apologizes for World Cup red card.
All right, we move over to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Of course, there are a number of stories there making the headlines on the Vanguard. We have this: federal government reliance on borrowings must end, as what Tinubu is saying. And more stories says we may be pushed to invade Niger. U.S. tells coup plotters. Fountain of Life founder Pastor Odukoya dies in U.S. And more latest news on the Vanguard this morning. Tinubu mourns Pastor Odukoya. Coup. Don't put Nigeria at great risk. Diaspora Nigerians tell Tinubu. We may be pushed. All right, we have that earlier. And Niger coup ECOWAS ultimatum, not Nigeria's mandate. That's what Tinubu is saying. Of course, more stories here on the Vanguard. Resident doctors cancel planned national protest. Electricity prepaid meters installation rises 3.9%. 171,107. Stakeholders seek support for renewable energy sector. More stories here on the Vanguard. Mob set suspected thief ablaze in Delta. And of course, it's still the Break It Down Papers review here on 32 FM 94.9. And we're looking at top stories from the front pages of the newspapers this morning. Still on the front page of the Vanguard, we also have this 44-year-old woman nabbed to using minor as drug courier in Lagos. And of course, we'll take about 2 more before going forward to take more headlines this morning. And this one says Ogun Tribunal Police NDLEA present more evidence against Adebutu. Oyo government kingmakers delay new Alafin. That's according to Ladigbolu. And of course, that's the much you can take with the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, we're going to our first commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with more to stay with us.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
You're listening.
John, what's up? Check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me say for the 5 who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey! You too fit be one of the 10 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial star 671 hash to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use and recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of of 12 million naira. Every week, you fit to chop out of 25 million naira.
Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions they shall.
130 successful Canadian visas and counting in 2023 alone. We are A3 Immigration and we mean business. A3 Immigration Incorporation is a Canadian-based immigration corporation licensed to help individuals transform Canada into their home sweet home, just as we did for Shalewa.
Hi, my name is Shalewa. Thanks to A3 Immigration, Nova Scotia, Canada is my new home.
Hi everyone, my name is Demola. I want to thank A3 Immigration for making my relocation to Canada successful.
With Canada Regulatory Council membership number R707544, A3 Immigration has a wide variety of expertise in all areas related to Canadian immigration. Our sister company, Bigger International Consult, is also available for your work or study needs in the United Kingdom. To get started, call or chat 0913-660-1125, 0913-660-1125, or visit a3immigration.com. A3 Immigration, making Canada your new home.
Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? I'm in Biggie's world, where it seems like multiple stars are aligned for the ultimate showdown. I have to go. I have to go. Biggie's calling.
It's the return of your faves in the first ever Big Brother Ninja All-Stars. Get ready for Edge of Your Seats drama, showing 24/7 on DSTV channel 198 and GoTV channel 49. Get and stay connected.
Big Brother Ninja All-Stars is proudly sponsored by MoneyPoint, powering dreams in association with HFM, online trading at its finest.
There you are, riding in silence, both deep in thought. I bet you the driver think this ride shouldn't cost more, and you the passenger are sure you're overpaying. Never mind, let's just stay quiet. Or you can both download InDrive and agree on a fair price beforehand. InDrive, people driven. The InDrive online passenger transportation aggregator is not a taxi service. For more information, visit indrive.com.
Hey, this why you came this early morning. I even thought you were flashing when I saw your call.
Flash, Ke. I have upgraded, and this time I'll be the one to spoil you. So get ready.
Wait, don't tell me better thing has landed.
Yes, so Zenith Better Life promo is back with season 3, and I just won a 150k gift card.
Hooray! That's right. Zenith Bank is giving away gifts worth 150,000 naira each to 20 lucky customers every 2 weeks in the Zenith Better Life promo season 3. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account and maintain a minimum of 5,000 naira. Request and collect a physical or virtual Zenith Bank debit card. Then download and register on the Zenith mobile app or register for *960# Easy Banking. This promo runs from June 1st, 2023 to May 31st, 2024 and is open to new and existing account holders. Terms and conditions apply. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Titi, I'm leaving now. Make sure you use this hypo bleach sachet to wash all the clothes, clean the bathroom, mop the floors, and
Mommy, one sachet for all this plenty work?
Yes, sir. Introducing the Hypo Bleach 200 ml bigger sachet, the bigger sachet you've been waiting for. Now you can do more disinfecting, whitening, and cleaning for just 100 naira.
Bigger 200 ml hypo sachet to do more housework.
Hypo.
Hello there. Have you ever traveled with You Fit Fly on any of our pilgrimage journey to Israel, Greece, Rome, or Jordan? This is another glorious opportunity to journey once again with You Fit Fly to Canada. Register now to be part of those attending our Ministers' Conference in Canada this September 2023. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àǹfààní olówó iyebíye ní fún ọ láti darapọ̀ mọ́ ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn tí yóò kópa nínú ìpàdé àwọn ìríjú Ọlọ́run alààyè lórílẹ̀‐èdè Canada tó máa wáyé nínú oṣù kẹsàn-án ọdún yìí. Indeed, it is going to be a positive life-changing experience. Láti má wàá gbẹ̀yìn, tètè yọjú sọ́fíìsì You Fit Fly tó wà ní Success House, 7up Road, Olúyọ̀lé Main Estate, Ring Road, Ìbàdàn. Tètè yọjú sí gbogbo ẹ̀ka iléeṣẹ́ You Fit Fly tó wà lárọ̀ọ́wọ́tó rẹ. Fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ẹ kàn sí www.youfitfly.com tàbí lórí àwọn ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ at You Fit Fly, or better still call the following numbers: 090-1111-1190, 070-6275-9762, and 080-9300-2096. Canada is the next port of calling. Do not be left out.
32 FM 94.9.
right, you're welcome back. You're still on to Break It On Papers Review here on 32FM 94.9, and my name is Bolabo Famous School.
And my name is Adenike Ademowagon. We have Tunji Ayoni joining us this morning for the analysis on the Break It On Papers Review. Good morning, Tunji.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to be starting off with this story, and the headline here says Tinubu sets 30-day tax reform target. UI student makes panel. Now, according to this news, the president has set a 30-day reform target, and he's expressing to break the vicious cycle of over-reliance on borrowing for public spending, and as a result, the burden of debt servicing. And also, in the same, would I say, win for the University of Ibadan, a 400-level economics student, Orire Agbaje, was also appointed by the president as a member of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms. What do you make of this girl's addition to the team, and as well as this resolve by the president?
Well, the headhunting of the girl from University of Ibadan by the president actually confirms his history of headhunting talents. Let's hope the so headhunted talent actually delivers on the mandate that is up before her as a member of the team and the team as a whole. The issue before them is to start to implement reforms within the next 30 days that will be visible, and perhaps there are longer term targets that has been given to them. But what is important at this point is to realize that we can no longer rely on loans, because servicing it has become a very big problem on our hands. So I think the committee has its work well cut out, and they have serious job to do.
All right, you don't think that maybe the reason why this girl was added to the team is because of the cries of, there's no future leader of tomorrow in the team, from the ministerial list and all of those things, and then one person added to this thing. Like, I'm not particularly one person, because I'm guessing there are other people in media and all of those things. But do you think it's also like appealing to this side of, let the youth also be a part of the progress?
Well, it's not a bad move to include youth, and it's sending a political signal that we are interested in including you, to carry you along in all that we do. But over and above that, I think, over and above the political considerations, I think competence is a lot more important, and I will be more impressed if actually the so included student actually has academic credentials and input that supports this inclusion. I wouldn't want a situation where she's included for political reasons and it's just like baggage on the other members of the committee.
Still on the issue of tax, this one from The Nation says Nigeria loses 20 trillion naira yearly to tax gaps. That's from the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Idele, and he disclosed this yesterday. And what do you think the president is trying to achieve? I mean, he's inaugurated a committee, he has charged the members to do something about this tax gap. And what do you think this would overall achieve, and where do you think this is, where we're going with this?
Overall, if we are able to achieve the 20 trillion naira tax gap, which has been highlighted, I think it necessarily means majority of the developmental work that is incumbent on the government to do will be financed by locally sourced funds. Like he said, the loans we have become burdensome, and we cannot continue to rely on loans from foreign donors, from foreign lending agencies. So if we are able to raise the 20 trillion, fine for us. But what it means for the general populace is that we should brace up for interesting times ahead. He had an history when he was governor of Lagos State of increasing the tax burden of Lagosians. And sadly, this comes at a time when people are even complaining of multiple taxation here and there. But what it means is that people may have to pay some more as a form of tax to generally improve the revenue drive of the government.
All right, let's look at job racketeering now. And of course, I'm going straight to the Federal Character Commission. They've been evidence and, of course, witnesses before the National Assembly, talking about the House of Representatives. Now, it's quite very baffling, given the fact that FCC is supposed to be more or less like a reflection of what should happen. Like every zone in the country should have some kind of representation when it comes to opportunities. Now, if you have this going on, and about 3 million naira was paid by some of these job seekers, and it shows the level of decay within the institutional network that we have in the country. What do we make out of this recent development?
The recent development actually highlights the problem of our society, and it's the problem of corruption. Incidentally, the last government came in on the mantra of fighting corruption. The current government has not said anything seriously about corruption, and it is staring us in the face. Though it strikes me that how did the unemployed individual seeking employment actually get the 3 million naira to secure the job?
Right.
But that's a discussion for another day. But the 800-pound gorilla in the house is corruption, and how we tackle it. It remains to be seen how the current government tackles it. It remains to be seen what our legislators do in tackling the corruption issue that we are faced with presently.
All right, let's talk about this one. Just in, resident doctors suspend planned protests. According to this news, the planned nationwide daily protest has been suspended after a closed-door meeting with principal officers of the Senate. And they say they've met with the Senate President, majority and minority leaders and whip. And so the planned protest for Wednesday, that's today, has been suspended, and they will review again in 72 hours. Now, do you think that they're starting to make some headway? Do you think some balance is starting to get into this? And at the end of the day, do you think we're going to be back here again? Because it seems like a constant cycle. Give us this, you're not giving us this, we're going to do this, and then, okay, we'll go back to work, and then we're back there again. What do you think about this?
Well, it's a good one that resident doctors have suspended their planned protests after the intervention of the House, like you said. It's also instructive that NMA spoke yesterday and advised government to go to the negotiating table with the resident doctors so that this can be nipped in the bud. It's a good report for the public, at least. They can go to the hospital and keep their appointments and get treated as is required. But much doesn't seem to be actually forthcoming with respect to government actually honoring agreements they eventually reach at the negotiating table with trade unions like this. So if you ask me, I'm not too sure we wouldn't be back here, but at least for the moment we have respite. The hospitals can return to full life again, and government has time on her hands to discuss with the resident doctors. Hopefully, this can be resolved a lot better because the problems on the table are actually far and deep. But hopefully, they can have a resolution that takes care of the immediate concerns of the resident doctors.
All right, let's look at stock market decline by 15 billion naira to maintain downward trend. And now the stock market, the story is saying, of the Nigerian Exchange Limited yesterday declined by 15 billion naira, maintaining downward trend over investors' profit taking in Gerego Power PLC and 23 others. What's this indication, especially for our exchange rates in the country, and how much more the stock market is performing looking at this downward trend itself?
It's my belief that the performance of the stock exchange is an indication of investors' confidence in our economy. And we know with the recent policies of government, the economy has taken a hit, and the economy is not doing too well. In the most likely event, this is going to still to put pressure on the economy because finance may not be coming into the country, foreign exchange may not be coming into the country, and inadvertently there will be still more naira trying to pursue. Are you
saying that the policies have weakened the economy? Talking about the stock market and the exchange rates in terms of the policies of the new government, economic policies, is that what you're indicating?
In the immediate, yes. Though the economy, as time progresses, may begin to recover from the shock that the economy has suffered. But in the immediate, yes, the economy is taking a bashing.
All right, let's talk about ECOWAS and the current issue in Niger. This headline from the Punch is Niger, ECOWAS plans fresh sanctions on Burkina Faso, Mali. UN talks fails. Now, according to this, there was a plan to get into Niamey to talk about what was going on in the country, and they were not allowed access into the country. They were denied permission to enter Niger, to the delegation and all of that. Some people are saying that ECOWAS is playing to the gallery of the big powers or the world powers, and that this might spiral out of control. And maybe the people are particularly happy about what's going on. They've not been happy about the democratic rule, and they think that they have a better chance at this military rule. So maybe it's better to leave them and allow them to experience what is currently going on.
In my opinion, I think ECOWAS, in their commitment to the enthronement of democratic rule, may actually have opinion about what is happening in Niger. But to the extent where they are mulling the idea of military intervention, I think they are going a little overboard. Negotiations at best is what I think is necessary at this point. For example, I read earlier in the day that President Tinubu was saying the position he's taking is the position of ECOWAS and not of Nigeria. But it remains to be seen how people perceive it as being a decision of ECOWAS and not of Nigeria, because it looks like Nigeria is the punching arm, having the extent of land border we have with Niger. Our disconnection of power to them is perceived as something that is coming from Nigeria. In the final analysis, it may estrange our neighbors, it may estrange border communities, and in the final analysis, there may be not much to be gained actually by Nigeria or by ECOWAS in taking such a hard stance. And rather, I think they should allow Nigerians to decide how they want to proceed with the issue on their hands.
What do you think about the United States of America? They warned that they might be pushed to be involved militarily if the country's military rulers do not return to constitutional order. When the U.S. puts their hand, what do you think is going to come out of this?
When U.S. speaks like this, you begin to wonder if they have not actually made up their mind in coming in the first instance. Usually what we find is that they make excuses and they find a reason to come. We have an example in Iraq, an example in Libya. They had something to complain about, and before you know it, they come in. We know, for example, that France also has some interest in Niger, being their colonial masters, the uranium they get there, and all of those interests. So definitely they are vested interest. And there is also even the influence they think Russia is beginning to get in the Sahel region. So they are vested interest. So we can only wait and see how things develop in the future. But it doesn't bode well for me that USA is saying they may be pushed to come in militarily.
All right, we have to go on our first break this morning, and when we do come back, we'll look at more headlines and, of course, open the phone lines.
32 FM 94.9.
tí o bá wà lórí nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì àrídájú ìyẹn naija confam wo ẹ̀bùn 1000 naira ń dúró dè ọ́ o tún ní àǹfààní láti gba èlé $500 lórí èyíkéyìí rìsáàjì tí o bá ṣe àníkún dátà lọ́nà 100 fún oṣù 6 àti ìlọ́po méjì dátà lórí rìsáàjì àkọ́kọ́ rẹ ní oṣù òpó ìyẹn gangan ni nine confam látọ̀dọ̀ nine mobile tí ó yọrantí ra síìmù tuntun lónìí tàbí kí o testa 1400 lórí ẹ̀rọ alágbèéká rẹ. Nine mobile wà níbí fún ọ wà níbí fún Naija.
Do you know who I am? Sure. You know, ask question. I be Tornado, a force of nature, the long-range assassin, the MVP, the intercept, the hat-trick architect.
Nobody does it better.
I am the breathtaking, game-changing left corner cannonball.
Fantastic goal!
So, make you sabi my name, because from the field to your feet to the Hall of Fame, the game where you know fit miss, one shelle like this so. Know her name, know her game. Stream the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup live from Super Sport on Showmax Pro.
No one one can build a business single-handedly. That is why Stanbic IBTC brings SME Collab as a hand of support for small and medium business owners. With SME Collab, you get interest on your business savings, easy cash loans for urgent needs, and vehicle and asset financing for business equipment and more. Let's join hands together for your business growth. Visit www.stambicibtcbank.com/Nigeria Bank/business to get started today. Go for growth with Stanbic IBTC. Stanbic IBTC. It can be.
Oh, this is what it sounds like when you mindlessly munch away at your snacks. Boring, dull, routine snacking.
And this is what it sounds like when snacking is loud, proud, gooey, chewy, playful, joyful, and all-round fun. Because when joyless snacking attacks, we'll be there to fight back. Snack out loud with Fanta.
There you are, riding in silence, both deep in thought. I bet you the driver think this ride shouldn't cost more, and you the passenger are sure you're overpaying. Never mind, let's just stay quiet. Or you can both download InDrive and agree on a fair price beforehand. InDrive. People driven. The InDrive online passenger transportation aggregator is not a taxi service. For more information, visit indrive.com.
John! What's up?
Check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me say for the 5 who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey! You too fit be one of the 12 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial star 671 # to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use and recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of 12 million naira every week, you fit to chop out of 25 million naira.
Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions they shall.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, we open the phone lines 0705 5000 949 and 0809 7949. You're on to the Break It Down Papers Review on 32 FM 94.9, and we're of course taking your reactions. We're also live on Facebook. It's facebook.com/32FM 949 Ibadan. And our numbers again 0705 5000 949 and 0809 7949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, GBOLABO and Barista. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. If you look at the economic gain that Nigeria will gain, that's a railway line from Nigeria to Nigeria that will help in exporting and exporting goods. There's another gas pipeline that passes through Nigeria, Mali to Nigeria to Europe. This is being threatened. That's why Russia is supporting all these West African countries, because the gas of Nigeria is another threat to supply of gas from Russia to Europe. Now, ECOWAS, United Nations and US that they should leave them. I believe within some weeks, some months, there is counter coup in all the West African countries, because the economic hardship has struck out in Nigeria and Mali. They are now losing millions of dollars. They should leave them. They are the counter coup. But the problem is, if there is counter coup, it will affect the whole West Africa. There will be coup in Central African Republic because the president wants to elongate his tenure there, like the backing of Russia. Have a nice time. God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much for that. And of course, we don't have a caller yet. I wanted us to also look at this, Tunji. Sultan Kuka blaming security on injustice and bad governance. And of course, Kuka Center is saying that fanaticism and instances of religious intolerance has become a key factor against peace and promoting unity in Nigeria. Do you think all of these are quite instructive at this time?
They are, very much so, because when people perceive they can't get justice from instituted authorities, there is the likelihood they want to resort to self-help. And most of the time when they resort to self-help, it's in violation of what the natural conventions are and what the laws are, and that's why we regard it as terrorism and as a flaring up of terrorism.
Please hold that thought. Hello, good morning. Please continue.
So, in my opinion, they are quite correct that when people are denied access to justice, they are likely to resort to self-help and terrorism. Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Adenike and GBOLABO. I'm John Uzonjoko. You see, 70% of Nigerians are happy with the turn of events in the day. Adoption of military action against Niger is not the absolute making of our president, but it was an ECOWAS decision. President Bola Tinubu cannot take a unilateral decision simply because he is the chairman of ECOWAS. Nigerian Junta has a constituted transitional committee, I'm aware, and monitoring the event there. Therefore, ECOWAS should give him chance and closely monitor the event in Niger and call for return of democratic rule instead of calling for the resettlement of the ousted President Bazoum, whom I consider is not going back to that office. His exit is concluded. However, President should be therefore think of the interest of Nigeria rather than the collective interest of ECOWAS. I'm John Uzonjoko. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, John. I guess we have to take some comments on Facebook here. And we have this from Raji Afiz Abiola Raja says, good morning, Denike GBOLABO. About the FCC staff's job racketeering, honestly, the situation is not limited to FCC alone, but it cut across all sectors in Nigeria. These two people need to be thoroughly investigated, prosecuted, and brought to book so as to serve as a deterrent to others. God bless Nigeria.
Omotayo Oluwarotimi says, may the soul of Pastor Odukoya rest in perfect peace, but I have to say something. The gospel preached in Nigeria is the wrong gospel. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ekele Balabi from Malakia Sheboru. Hello.
Please go ahead, Caleb.
Please go on.
I just want to comment on the statement creditor of this global unemployment ranking. When it comes to negative ranking, Nigeria usually be number 1, 2, or 3. Nigeria leads the unemployment ranking globally. With all the abundant resources that we have in this country, Nigeria is still ranking first. What your government is doing, they are not doing anything because most of the companies in Nigeria are now relocated to other nations. Where will not be implement the military side? The government should do the needful. On the issue of Mr. Boy. Okay, I will call back later. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is John Olarewa calling from Lagos. On the issue of Niger, my own position is this. What is the duty of the AU, Africa Union, on this issue of crude plotting in West Africa? Is it only for ECOWAS to just solve the problem? I think when, in time of Obasanjo, when the coup took place at, forgotten the name of this country, and the country is not the part of ECOWAS, Obasanjo has to give ultimatum that they should return the power to the democracy, and they did so. So, what are we talking about? I think the EU needs to come up too and intervene to this issue because they are part of the Africa, not to just leave the ECOWAS into this way, so that our president should not carry the burden of this Niger upon only himself, because Nigeria is not only part of Africa. If you are a leader of the ECOWAS, you are not a leader of AU. Consult AU, find a solution to this problem. Thank you and good morning.
All right.
All right, thank you so much. We'll go back to Facebook, and this is from Miriam Yetunde. She says, good morning, GBOLABO and Denike. It's a good thing to know that our leaders are now giving youth the opportunity to contribute their culture to the development of the country. Some states like Oyo had already set the pace, and I'm glad President Tinubu found the UI student worthy and serving in his committee. I pray we will all benefit from the renewed hope.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Olusegun calling from Rango Dubara.
All right. Please go on.
Yes, I'm of the view that Nigeria should maintain the doctrine of neutrality. Section 5 of the Constitution states that before the president can embark on any wild goose chase, mind my word, wild goose chase because it will not pan out in our favor. We should seek the approval of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and ultimately the United Nations is the parent body that governs all nations. So you can't do it on ECOWAS basis. Now, we have a lot of crises back at home, and we should put it into consideration the fact that we have intermarried with these people. We are more or less like brothers. So what is going to be the fruitless effort of trying to construct a rail line across their border? So that one will be stopped as well. So we have to maintain the doctrine of neutrality and let due process take its course before we embark on that, because it's going to be capital intensive as well. We have a lot of problems at home, so we just need to de-emphasize that Niger issue. It's a kind of imbroglio, and the diplomatic dilemma is already occurring. When all things fail, diplomacy will always work. Let peace reign.
All right. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, GBOLABO&DENIKE. This is Shemuda. You know that this junta sent away US, ECOWAS, and EU. They said they don't want to negotiate with them because of the backing of Russia. Russia have interest in this. That's why it's backing all the peace plotting or plotters in West Africa and Central Africa. Sending you anyway. Who will negotiate?
All right.
But my opinion is don't do there with force. No attack them. The things on you is you can't pass me. Have a nice time.
All right, thank you. Tolokbadiemi on Facebook says, good morning. The appointment of a 400-level University of Ibadan student as member of the Tax Reform Committee is a good one because this is a way to show that youths would be carried along in his administration, and this action will further serve as encouragement to the youths. But I hope the report of this committee would be implemented at the end of the day so that their efforts won't be futility like there's always been in Nigeria.
All right, we have to go. We have to leave the studio. Tunji, what do we make out of all of this today? What are your parting shots?
My parting shot will be on the Niger crisis, and because of the tendency it has to affect Nigerians on the border communities. Nigeria should seek more peaceful way of a return to democracy in Niger rather than the forceful military action they are contemplating.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Bolabo Moscow.
And my name is Adenike. The Smart Kids Show is up next.